As I've been going out and about meeting new artists in Nashville, people are usually surprised when I say I don't do
Oh
Instagram.
my God.
So if they want to connect with me, they have to give me their phone number, their email, or follow me on this YouTube channel. Here are my top reasons on why I've abandoned my Instagram account and have decided to present myself differently online.
Welcome to my channel.
Let's talk about why you're on Instagram in the first place. Most of the time, it's because you're trying to connect with other people. Let's just talk about it from an artist standpoint. You are presenting your portfolio, it's easy to consume, and you're able to also connect and say, here's the event, here's what I'm selling, and the transaction is pretty simple and straightforward. Though you're going to be competing against the algorithm and people's attention span. That's going to make it incredibly difficult if you're a creator that's not doing content creating. So you're creating artwork, but then you also have to present your artwork that's going to be suitable for the platform in its consumption and appeal to the audience that's going to see it, which is going to be a lot of people with shorter attention spans. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of mastery or control over the algorithm. This is a huge hindrance for artists, especially if they don't have a lot of followers and are trying to connect with their own community. As artists, we need a place where our work can live permanently and we have a little bit more control over the SEO. Most artists are not using Instagram as top of funnel, but basically their only platform. And what I mean by top of funnel is that this is where people see you first. This is where people interact with you. And then you have a follow-up call to action that leads you to their website or leads them to your email or maybe even a sale. And that's got to go all the way down, right? So it's like this. And if your top of funnel is going to be Instagram, your call to action has to be in your bio, your stories, or your posts. And usually the next thing that people want them to do is to attend an event, to visit their website, to buy some art, or even do like a fun little drawing or something community based online. Because people are not using Instagram in particular as a top of funnel and mostly just as the one and only platform that they can be contacted, reached, and interacted with, well, that poses some problems. The most obvious one is if Instagram was to suddenly shut down, what would happen? Would you have your portfolio easy to view online? Would you have people's contact information and all those followers? Would they follow you over to another platform? Would they share their email addresses or their phone numbers? How would you create this community elsewhere? And most people, unfortunately, have dug a hole for themselves in this because they have put all of their marbles in Instagram to create their online community and even that online community going out to see them in person. Well, it creates this really awkward tension of when they need to transition over. The transition is not easy. For me, because I've been doing digital marketing and branding for companies for years now, I was seeing this trend pop up for a lot of people. If they even wanted Instagram as a top of funnel, they definitely needed other avenues for people to find and see their work or their business in a more permanent platform, something that they owned themselves and could control. Anytime you use the Instagram platform, it is not giving you anything in return except for what the work you put in yourself. That might seem obvious, but let's take it a step further. So if I was to post something, then it got like 1 million likes, and let's say it went totally viral and blew up.
Wow.
What do I get in return? Maybe more followers? Maybe if I was smart and put a call to action, then I get maybe some sales. Okay. Or I get more, if I actually am using it as a funnel, then I get more visits to my website and maybe I collect some emails. But the turnout is going to be a little less than glamorous. And we don't actually get paid for our posts or anything we do on Instagram. If anything, if you were a content creator, I would encourage you to use a platform that has the option or possibility to pay you. TikTok is one, YouTube is another, and even things like Patreon or Substack have paywalls that you can put up. And so you can eventually charge people or have a premium of your content so people can feel more connected and supporting you as an artist. You are using your work to promote Instagram more than you are yourself when it comes to the platform as a whole. Those are some of the reasons why I'm against Instagram, but I'm not against being online. I think it's incredibly important to have, as an artist, to have an online presence. I just think you have to be smart about how you're making that online presence work for you, especially in the long run. Just make sure that whatever you're doing online, you're creating a funnel. You're creating a call to action. You're getting people to go to your website that's more permanent and you have SEO control over. You have those emails so you can have something outside of Instagram to let people know what you're doing, and maybe even phone numbers. The other reason why I don't use Instagram is because I get totally sucked in and I just brain rot on that thing. I don't use social media platforms well. I get sucked in no matter what. And so if the app itself doesn't have like a studio form of the app, kind of like TikTok or YouTube, then I'm not going to be on it. And when you think of it like a substance, maybe let's say like alcohol or even weed, if you're into that, then it can help you kind of separate it from yourself and give it its regulation and its appropriate use. Most of the time we over and we abuse Instagram or social media platforms. If you look at your screen time, no lie, sometimes that screen time is horrifying to know that you've spent like 3 hours that day on it. Even for myself, when I was doing full-time content creating for others in their businesses and my own artistry, I was on that thing so much. And sometimes I'd get sucked in because, well, I'm exhausted and I'm looking at it already and I'm on it and it's just a click away. And sometimes our thumbs were even trained to just go like boop, 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 and we're on it. And before we know it, we've been through it for like an hour and we're like, oh my God, where did the time go? And so the freak out is real. And that's why phones started putting up those timers and apps that can help you regulate that. And it's because we know that it's so difficult to just get your face out of that thing and to not be sucked in, right? Here's another controversial reason on why I don't use Instagram. I really love to connect with people authentically. I love to go get coffee with them. I love to know more about them and their process. And Instagram has this really weird way of kind of veiling our relationships. I'm only seeing your highlights. I'm only seeing you from what you like to present to the world. And I only see you if the algorithm blesses me with your content. Plus, it's like a really weird way to weed out people who are just looking for the quick grab. They're just looking for someone to adore them, and they're not actually looking to connect. Unfortunately, Instagram has a lot of people with really big egos that just want people to follow them and to know what they're about, but they don't really want to give that back. They're not actually building up the community on their Instagram. It's just basically a way to show what they're about and what they're doing. And then if you follow and keep up, that's on you. It's really not their responsibility to have that interaction back and forth. Building community is a two-way street. And if anything, if you want to be connected, you got to make those events. You got to make the table and invite people to sit at your table. You can't be waiting around hoping that a seat opens up at the table you want to be at. I view Instagram as a table where people are constantly looking to see which seat that they can sit in and how they can get invited to the table. If you have full control over your digital presence and what you're doing online, then that to me is you creating your table. I think Instagram can be used as a top of funnel, but I wouldn't make it your table. So please keep that in mind as a creative. And just from how I've helped businesses develop their digital strategies and their marketing, it's really important to have the funnel and to have a call to action and get people to go where you want them to, and to be really mindful of how you're pouring into these platforms, how you're supporting them as a creative, and even the rights that you give away. That's a whole nother topic. Just have that in mind as you are using these platforms and supporting your work and what you want your longevity of your artistry to even look like. What's your legacy? How do you want to connect with your audience? These are really important things. And yes, they do take time. They do take growth. And if you have all of your eggs in one basket with Instagram, please put some chickens in another coop and start making eggs somewhere else. Thanks for listening to my ramblings. Wait, I was eating lunch and I had an additional thought, and the sun is currently blinding me. Ugh, so I'll make it quick. Okay, the other thing that is just breaks my heart as a digital marketer and artist is when I see business cards or people who are trying to connect just through Instagram, or they only have their Instagram and that's it. No, give me your website, give me your email. Like, I need something that is gonna be more permanent than social media. I follow you on social media. You don't know where I came from. You're not probably going to reach out to me. I am just another person in the sea of people who are gonna get lost in the algorithm and lost in your follower count. And then that's it. There's no follow up. There's no connection. There is like, okay, cool, that I saw what I wanted and now I'm out. I didn't make a connection to see you as an artist and where we're having that exchange where then I become more interested in your story. Story sales. Okay. That's really all my rant. Make wise decisions online. Thanks for listening to my ramblings about Instagram and my personal vendetta against it. If you disagree, please leave a comment. If you agree, please leave a comment. I'm open for this discussion. I've had it with so many people and it is fascinating. And I'm actually not like, I'm actually incredibly understanding of all the perspectives of for Instagram and against Instagram. I think it's just incredibly interesting for us to have the conversation and to see what other options are available for us as artists. So once again, leave a comment, give a like, give a subscribe, whatever. And you can find me on my website or even just holler at me on YouTube.
Thank you for watching.